Hi, I'm Katie from Dashing Dish. This is my first video post. I decided to make a protein shake, one of my most famous and easy recipes. I'm going to start by showing you all the ingredients I use, and I vary it depending on what kind of shake I'm making. This is Designer Whey protein powder. I just use vanilla, but they come in all different flavors. It's 100 calories a scoop, great protein, and you can get it at most grocery stores, GNC, or online. I use cottage cheese. I know a lot of people think that's weird and are scared by that, but if you are, you can use yogurt or even milk instead of the water. I use sugar-free instant pudding a lot of times. It gives it different flavors. I use butterscotch because that's what I like. Just a little bit. Maple extract. I'm making my peanut butter maple protein shake today, one of my most favorites. Stevia to sweeten. You just need a few packs. I use new stevia. It's the best stevia in my opinion because it doesn't have the aftertaste. It's all natural and it comes from a stevia plant. And this is peanut flour. It's like a hidden secret. 1 tablespoon has 25 calories and it gives it a really strong peanut butter flavor. And then just some water and ice. Okay, so what I always start by doing, and this is what I tell anybody to do, add your cottage cheese, yogurt, or milk first. If you were going to use milk, I would just use a cup of milk. Anything that equals 100 calories, because I use a half a cup of cottage cheese, which is 100 calories. So I go ahead and add that to the blender first, because it helps the ice to get a really good start in the blender. It helps it not to stick. Then I add I get 2 trays of ice out. I use 1.5 or 1 depending on how big of a shake I'm making. I know that sounds crazy, but honestly, it gives you the thickest shake. So then after I have a 1.5 trays of ice, which as you can see comes up to about here on the blender, so if you don't have ice cube trays, which most people don't anymore, then you could just fill it up to about 1/4 to 1/2 full of the blender with ice. And then of course I already have my cottage cheese at the bottom. Then I go ahead and add 1 scoop of my protein powder. Now obviously you can add more or less depending on your calorie needs for that meal or snack. Like I said, this is 100 calories per scoop. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my pudding. I just guesstimate, so I just shake a little bit in, but I'd say like a tablespoon. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my peanut flour. I do have a tablespoon in there already waiting for me. And you can get this peanut flour at www.nettrition.com. I'll put a link on my site. You can also find it at Whole Foods and various other health stores. Like I said, it's just a lower calorie version of peanut butter. You can definitely use real peanut butter too. And then just a few drops of maple extract. It's amazing what some extracts can do. You can find them in the spice and baking aisle in your grocery store, and they will literally transform your protein shakes. Calorie free, it's great. And then I use about 3 packs of stevia. I know that sounds like a lot, but I really like things sweet, so you could definitely use more or less depending on what you like. Also, you can use Splenda or whatever kind of sweetener you want. Or no sweetener if you don't like things that sweet. And here's the really important part to getting a really thick, creamy shake, is the water. So I pour the water about 1/4 full on the blender line, and what that does is it's way more ice than water, and you need to make sure that you pulse the ice so that your blender can handle that much ice versus that little water. This is what really gives it that milkshake consistency. So here's what I do. I have a Vitamix, and most people don't. But if you have a regular blender, this will work great. All you need to do is make sure you put it on the pulse ice option. So what that does is it just pulses it and then gives it a break. Pulses and gives it a break. That way it won't burn out your blender with this much ice, which I've done in the past. KitchenAid blenders work really well for that option. But for a Vitamix, all you have to do is start it low and then go higher as it progresses. So I'm going to start that now. So after I blended it and did the pulsing option, I did the mix option on any blender. And that's just the final stages of getting everything really well mixed and creamy. So as you can see here, I have a really nice thick consistency and it's really creamy. It's just like a milkshake. So what I do is I just pour that into the cup. You can see it's really thick, just the way I like it. You could add way more liquid, way less ice if obviously you like to drink yours. Like I think my parents like to drink their shake. They don't like to eat it with a spoon, but I like to eat mine with a spoon. So that's how I do it. I also sometimes add about a half of a Chewy bar, 100-calorie Chewy bar, and just mix it in. It gives it like a blizzard effect, like you get some kind of texture and crunchy, delicious surprise in the middle of your shake. So you can do that, or you can have it just as is. Delicious. Find this recipe at dashingdish.com under I Can't Believe It's Not a Milkshake. Thanks for visiting, and I'll see you soon.